So you're right. We're too close to the blast radius. I want to ask you, are you normally an optimist? Because you've given a couple of optimistic takes, and I'm not sure if I missed this aspect of your personality.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you
I mean,
normally?
you cannot be in publishing unless you're an optimist. No,
This is
the
true.
fundamental model is it's a hits and misses. So many people are doing the same thing that you're doing. Then why would your book
Yeah.
work or your thing somebody would read?
Yeah.
So yeah, no. And I also think that there's you know, in cricket there's a thing, fishing outside the off stump. You know, you'll get out. So the thing about being optimistic is that yes, the number of ways in which you can be right is fundamentally smaller than the number of ways in which you can be wrong, right? So going in as being an optimist is like swinging outside the off stump. However, in life, in at least in this sort of entrepreneurial world,
Yeah.
I mean, there is no percentage you being a pessimist, right?
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
is no real, not even percent. I would say statistically more likely you'll be right if you're always pessimistic, but then nothing good will ever get built either. Let me put it
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. Oh, that's so true. So I'm going to come to Stack and Say Again Press, which I'm of course going to chat with you about because it's something we're building and we're using Stack as a platform. But before that, I did warn you that we do talk about the professional and journey and the trajectories as well. So
Yeah.
how does it happen that someone who goes from a job in McKinsey, which carries its own kind of, I think, emotionally charged baggage. You were working, I guess, at McKinsey with the news industry at that point. How do you chart your trajectory till today, where, you know, including your interest in the news, including your optimism, including your entrepreneurial gig?
Yeah. You know, with the caveat, this is a lot of post facto rationalization of random activities. But I mean, the McKinsey job was a lot of working with news and other media in New York. I'm back to where I was before. I was always interested in starting something in media. That's how it started. You know, Amar Chitra Katha sort of acquired it, went down every rabbit hole of Indian media, produced TV shows, produced films. You know, iPad was new at the time, released everything on iPad, all of that. Then scroll after that, because of the mobile revolution, I was still much more on the publisher side of things in terms of thinking about what will work and so on. And then over time, like now I have spent far more years outside of as an entrepreneur in the publishing slash media world than anything else I've ever done. So I would say that's really what I find joy in. And then the second sort of strand of it has been, as you know, I wrote this film, Zagato, which was released a few years back. Then a documentary that has not been released yet, Indira's Emergency. So I've had also a parallel journey in this world, which is very related to publishing. Hence my, sense that I think there is a lot of opportunity, again, especially in India. If I look at, I don't know about the rest of the world as much. I understand India and the US. India is like humongous, right? We haven't yet done anything in our languages of the scale that exists in the book publishing world. We haven't done so much in cinema and radio and other formats, podcasts, that like we reach a very, very tiny fraction of the possible audience. So I think it will happen. Like everything else in India, it just takes longer than we think, and longer than especially the lead users like you and me might get onto things very fast. But, you know, as we know, it's a palimpsest with layers and layers of, changes. So it will take time. But so that's at least been my journey, right? So